Welcome back. Now, government announced the withdrawal of the proposed 20 billion rand in tax increases at national budget today, citing stronger than expected VAT, corporate income tax and dividends tax collections. Enoch Gorongwana says the improved fiscal position allows the country to scrap the hikes without threatening sustainability or growth. Sars Commissioner Edward Kieswetter joins us now to share his perspective on the national budget. Commissioner, thank you so much for your time this evening. Let's talk about revenue collection, right, being revised up to 21.3 billion rands. Talk to me about how much that is being attributed to rebuilding SARS and whether we are seeing the full benefit of that institutional recovery.
Thank you. I think it's a great place to start because indeed you have to ask, where does the additional 21.3 billion come from if the GDP projections, the wage bill, inflation is down, imports are down, gross operating surplus down. So most of the economic assumptions on which the budget were based are actually softer than what it was.
Yeah.
So what explains that? Well, on the consumption side, we see that consumers are a lot more confident this time around. And so we see good performance in the consumption taxes. And secondly, we've also seen some additional growth that has come from the mining sector and the finance sector. But if you add all of that up together, then our analysis shows that about a third of the outperformance comes from economic factors and 2/3 comes from compliance efforts.
Yes.
Which means that, yes, to your earlier question, we are seeing the dividends or the benefit of a well-functioning revenue administration, which is clearly the work of the efforts and investment of the 14,000 men and women at SARS that I have the privilege to lead over the last 7 years.
And talk to me about revenue sustainability, just picking up on what you said there. How do we reconcile what we're seeing with the modest growth that, the modest economic growth that we're dealing with? Are you confident that, you know, the stronger revenue trajectory is sustainable? You did mention there we're benefiting on the back of the commodities boom. We know that industry in particular, commodities in particular, are very cyclical.
So again, the cyclicality has added about 5 billion of the revenue that we are projecting over and above the May 2020, the February 2025 estimate. But we believe that the shift is structural.
Okay.
It's not cyclical. And that the structural shift comes from SARS being able to administer its mandate significantly better than what it could. But also there are factors that we believe are leading indicators of sustainability. What are those? Firstly, we see that in 2019, the public trust in SARS was 48%. Today it is over 75%. The taxpayer service was 54%. Today it is 90%. So there's also a compliance dividend from the compliance culture and more trust in the revenue administration. We've seen almost a 4% uplift in voluntary compliance index that we measure. So all of this suggests that it is structural, not cyclical.
All right. And then before I let you go, this is your final budget as the Commissioner, Edward. And when you look at SARS today compared to what it was when you stepped into that office, what are you most proud of? And maybe let's talk about what unfinished work your successor should prioritize.
Great question. So when I was asked earlier today, I mean, there was a proud moment for me when the minister asked me to stand in the House and I got the standing ovation. I stood there with a sense of privilege and humility, knowing that I represent 14,000 men and women at SARS. And for me, when asked what is my legacy, that's the true legacy. It's the people who you leave behind. The technology, the clever stuff that we do, the AI, it's all nice. I'm a techno geek, so I love doing that. But the sustainability from any organization comes from its people. What is left behind is we have just launched Modernization 3.0, which we launched last year. And for me, the new incumbent who comes in after me will have to accelerate the pace at which that investment is made. And I would hope that he or she, whoever it may be, will receive the full support by the Minister of Finance to make the necessary investment in SARS. If we do that, then what we have built over the last 7 years will indeed sustain.
All right, let's leave it there. Commissioner, thank you so much for your time and wishing you all the best with your future endeavors. That was SARS Commissioner Edward Kieswetter.